Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. Let's have chill talk again, okay? Today I'm gonna talk about is it important to have a child or children? Okay, why I'm gonna talk about this because most people now they force themselves to have a child, but at the same time their financial is not good. So what we have to do in this situation? Okay, now I just want to say like this. You know, as long as you are not rich, you don't need to have a child. Okay, this is as my philosophical thinking, my philosophical way of thinking, and I say we don't need to have a child as long as we are not rich. Why? Because if you have a child, you force yourself to have a child, whereas you're still poor, the sure thing will happen is that you will probably you will be poor forever. Okay, you will never have a chance to enhance your life because you need to sustain your child, your wife, your family, whereas you are not still poor. Whereas you're still poor. And why I can say like this, because when you have a child you need to sustain them, you need to spare your time and your money in it. Okay, and there is not there is no legacy, there is no good legacy you handle down to your children. Okay, and later on your children will be poor again, so this poverty handle down again to generation and to generation. So before you have a child, before you want to have a child, make sure that you are successful. Okay, make sure that you are already successful. Okay, so that way, your son, your children, or your next generation will be better. Okay, better than you. Okay, and maybe people might say like this: "Oh, as human being, we need to have a child in order to have next generation to keep this world." Okay, I just wanna say like this. Okay, now you are poor. It means the universe doesn't root you. Okay, the law of nature or anything doesn't root you or something like that. Okay, and then you care too much to this world for what? Okay, for what you care too much to this universe, whereas the universe doesn't care about you. Okay, so for me, if we are not successful, it is meaningless. Okay, because everything needs money in nowadays. Okay, so you have a children, uh, you have a children where you are still poor. Oh, this is not the achievement. People might so happy like, oh, I have been married. They say like this: I have been married. I have had a child, children, where they are still poor. For me, that's very meaningless. Okay. Unless you have a good plan. After you have a child, you can make sure that you can enhance your life gradually. Maybe you have you have a plan you have set before you get married, and then you married you marry someone deliberately. So not only you want to have a next generation, whereas there is no things that you can handle down, and this is not a good thing. Okay, because the more people around the world, the more suffering, the more burden we will get. Okay, so So the thing that we have to do is that we don't need to have a child, okay? Just keep persisting to achieve your dream, okay? Improve yourself first, okay? And what happened if you're not successful until you are old? It's okay, okay? It's better than you're not successful but you have a children, okay? So now, focus on yourself first. Make yourself successful before you get married, okay? I know this is very, very hard to choose, but instead of marrying, because instead of get instead of getting married before you're successful, trust me, there will be more suffering later on, okay? In terms of financial problem and things like that, okay? And never ever think that if you have a child, they can be infestation, your infestation. This is the wrong thing, okay? Because they are not necessarily devoted to you when you are old. They are not necessarily uh, can they are not necessarily devoted to you, okay? They will not necessarily also can sustain you when you are old. So just focus on yourself first before you have a plan to get married, okay? This is my philosophical way of thinking, okay? So you know what, most people say I'm weird because I've determined that I will never marry I will never be married unless I'm successful. And then they say, oh, you are so weird. As human being, we need to have a child. Because later on, when you are old, there will be someone that can take care of you when you are old. And I think, oh, yeah, this is not the right thought, okay? Because when you raise a child, that's your responsibility. Because you want to have a child, you have to raise them, and this is your responsibility, okay? So there so this is your responsibility, okay? So they don't have responsibility to pay you back later on, okay? Because your three children later on will have their own life, okay? They also have to marry. They also need to have to be married, okay? When they are adult. So don't never ever think that they will be your something that can sustain you when you are old. That's not good. Don't never say like thing like that. That's a wrong thing, and you will regret it later on. As philosopher, I can see that, okay? But you're just a normal person, so I can see that, I can notice that, so I alert you, okay? Life is so hard, you know. No matter how hard you raise your children, okay, until they are adult, okay, they are not obliged to repay you, because This is your responsibility. So that's why I don't want to have a child unless I'm successful. Okay. And also, if you see, for what you, I wanna you see this. For what if you, for what you have a daughter, and then you raise them until they're adult, and then eventually they will get married. For what? You spend a lot of time in it. You spend a lot of time in it, your time, your energy, your focus, just to raise them, and then ultimately they get married. For what? And when you are old, you will certainly be alone. What I say is the truth. Okay, people don't know this, don't realize this until they feel it, until they get through it. Okay, but when they realize it, it's too late. So that's why I always remind people to be prudent before they decide to get married. Okay, because there will be a lot of adversity after they get married. This is not pessimistic, but that is the certain thing, that is the sure thing that will come to you, if you get married before you're successful. Okay, so now for me, have children is not important. Okay, the important for me in my life right now is achieving my goal. This is the paramount. Okay, this is the paramount. Instead of having a child without no goal, without no purpose. Okay, so married, have a child is just a convention thing. You can get that if you are successful. If you are not, you don't need to get married. Okay, this is my foresight, my philosophical way of thinking. Okay, okay, this is the message I wanna deliver today. Okay, and maybe next time I will discuss about this. I will talk about this topic again, because it is still long, but now I have no time. I'm about to leave. Okay, see you again in next video. If you like this video, yeah, you can like, you can subscribe. Okay, so okay, see you again.